everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over the World of Nintendo Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and Cranky Kong from Jakks Pacific. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. Here is the box for Donkey Kong. He looks awesome, doing a really nice pose over here. The bananas over here. They're bonus bananas, by the way. DK up here. World Nintendo Jakks. On the back, you have DK with a bio and him doing a really cool pose. Now let's open up Donkey Kong. DK looks really great, almost statuesque, and I find that this pose works better as a statue. Yeah, it isn't the best kind of thing for an action figure, but it looks nice at least. The color of the fur is really nice, and the color of the skin is really great. It's more like a sort of olive-ish kind of coloring that I really love. It's very nice. Really great, and all the details are on the bottom of the feet, which is nice. I really love how his tie looks. The tempo is great on that, and his face looks really good too, if a little bit cross-eyed. Yeah, this is a pretty good pose, just not great for an action figure. For articulation and posing at least, his head does move a little bit left and right. His arm moves up and down a little bit all the way around at least. The other arm can move all the way around. You can kind of get him in some kind of pose. His legs do move pretty much, but he's kind of stuck in like one pose. You can kind of figure out how to do something. I'm not exactly sure. A ground pound pose, but yeah, anything looking down won't really do you much good. He's more looking up and stuck in the pose they kind of gave him. You can give him a little bit of sort of like ready to jump or something, but yeah, not too much from this guy. It's kind of a shame they didn't give him a better pose. I'd like him even more if he had a better pose, but for now, he's just okay. Here is the Jakks Pacific Donkey Kong next to the Takara Donkey Kong, and I find this to be a better action figure, but this to be, I think, a little more polished. It just looks nicer as far as DK goes, and it's much more hefty, but this one has a little more soul. It's just a little better figure, at least for me. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. For an accessory, DK comes with a bunch of bananas, and yeah, it's kind of boring. We've seen this before with different figures and stuff. It's the same kind of bananas, and yeah, can we just move on? Let's move on from these bananas. Let's go to Diddy. Diddy Kong returns! Yeah, really, Donkey Kong Country returns. Tropical Freeze, that is. Very nice looking figure, really cute. We got DK about to eat a banana up here. Pretty funny. Looks awesome. On the back, we have some more figures in whatever wave this is, as well as a bio for Diddy. And yeah, let's check out Diddy Kong and see how he is. Like DK, he comes pre-posed a little bit. It's fine, I guess. I do like how he looks, though. There is an issue with him that I'll get to later on, though. The tempo on his chest looks really nice. Those stars. I really love how he's molded, and the coloration of his fur and skin are very nicely done. His eyes are really nice, too. That's a really good feature of them. And the Nintendo logo on top is really nice to see and super awesome. If a little bit crooked, I would think with this. His tail looks really great, too. I like how that looks. And he's a really nice figure overall, except look at his mouth. There's a little bit of strange kind of issue near that. I'm not sure if it's pressing against the plastic. I'm not sure if it's got mismolded over time, but I gotta say, this is not that good at all. This is a bummer and pretty horrible, actually. Very terrible. It's a flat portion on his mouth that looks really awful. From afar, it kind of looks bad too. Wow, this kind of is a bummer. You have to really have him posed away from you to not see it. But yeah, it's just sucks, guys. These articulations no better than DK, who was basically a statue. At least we have a nice pose for him initially. The arm does move around pretty okay, and this arm can move up a little bit and down a little bit. His head can swivel from side to side, going this far and really far on this. Wow, that's really weird. Yeah, it can't really go any past the arm, though. It's kind of a shame. Kind of, I don't know. You can kind of get a somewhat pose over here, like it's kind of like beckoning to DK a little bit, and his tail can't really move that much at all. Yeah, again, it's lackluster, I would think. The legs can't move at all either, and that's kind of a bummer. You're just stuck in this head-scratching pose, like me, scratching my head, wondering why this is posed this way. Here is the Jakks Pacific Diddy Kong next to the Takara Diddy Kong, and they are nice figures, but I really am leaning more towards the Jakks Pacific on this one. It just is a better figure in every way possible, even though you can't really pose him all that much. This one has the hang loose sign, but really, what's that compared to a full-on monkey that can pose? For height comparison, Donkey Kong stands at about 3 inches tall, roughly, maybe 2.5 inches or so. The bananas, just for the heck of it, stand about 1 inches, and Diddy Kong stands at around 1 3/4 inches tall. Definitely pretty lackluster figures. Let's hope the next two are better right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Dixie Kong is an interesting box, different from the other two. It's kind of weird. We have the Donkey Kong moniker on the bottom with her name, World Nintendo, and Nintendo's seal. Jakks over here. Different DK we've seen from the previous, and nothing about Tropical Freeze. This would have been great to release during then. She looks awesome, by the way. On the back, we have Dixie Kong over here with more figures in whatever wave that was. And now we're going to check out Dixie Kong out of packaging. Much like the 4-inch Diddy Kong, she is stuck in a crawling pose, and yeah, it's alright, even though I do love this figure. This can be improved in so many ways in the 4-inch line, and I can't wait for them to figure it out. I do love the face. The eyes are excellent over here, as is the hat, looking great. The little tassels coming off of her hair are excellent and looking really wonderful and beautiful, as are the little baubles for her ears, similar to Princess Peach. She has a hair tie that's in blue going back, and the hair looks really nice. I can't see much texture on it, but it looks cool anyways. Her fur looks textured and nice. She does have a spot on here that's a shame, and the tie off over here really matches her other figure that came from Takara, which is pretty cool. I do like how this looks, even if it's kind of pre-posed in a weird way. As far as articulation goes for Dixie Kong, the head can kind of move a little bit actually. That's nice. So because you can look like left and right kind of. That's cool. Her arm can move up this far and then down. Kiss the ring. And then this hand can move up and then down. And it looks kind of weird. There's some kind of weird issue, I think, where it was in the package for too long or something, rubbing up against something. That kind of sucked. The legs don't really move at all. And it's kind of hard to get her in a pose that doesn't have her propped up by her tail, which is kind of weird, or at least her hair ponytail. That's what I'm going for, I guess. Yeah, she looks really great. It just, the articulation really suffers. That's a shame. Everything is great about this figure. Just fix that articulation, Jakks. It'll be really amazing when you do. Here is the Jakks specific Dixie Kong next to the Takara Dixie Kong, and I find that while this one is better articulation, this one is just better in every way possible. I mean, look at it. It's a spitting image of Dixie Kong from the game. It's just phenomenal. My big issues, though, are how she is with her legs are just up all the way. That's kind of weird, and her arms can't really move that well at all. And this one is better articulation-wise. Honestly, a way better figure. Jakks, get on it with the articulation. Jakks, get on it with the articulation. Give us a Dixie Kong we're all proud of. And finally, the patriarch of the Kongs, Cranky Kong. I love this character so much. He is wonderful in the games, great in the series, and nigh unfindable, basically. It was hard to find this guy. We have DK up top, Cranky Kong over here, Donkey Kong logo, Jakks specific, in different font actually. Pretty interesting. Probably an older figure. World Nintendo up here. On the back, we have a bunch of figures in the wave with a different picture for him at least. It's kind of weird. So let's take a look at Cranky Kong. Yeah. Cranky Kong has a similar problem like Dixie Kong had, where he doesn't really have his feet flat on the ground. His beard is basically keeping him aloft. Yeah, it's a weird conundrum to have and hard to kind of move, but I love the look on this guy. It's really nice. It captures the character really well. He has a little sweater over here, and the beard is really nice with a couple texture floofs everywhere going around. The eyes look kind of strange. The glasses are really thick. I think they're too thick for the character, honestly. They could be thinner. His cane looks really good, and you could tell it's definitely painted, but yeah, this is a really fantastic piece. Looks wonderful, and just Cranky Kong. I love him. He's the guy from the guidebooks that yells at you and says you can do it way better, or use a Game Genie or something. It's pretty funny. But yeah, Cranky Kong is just awesome. I really love the guy, and he's really fun in the games too. For Cranky Kong's limited articulation, at least his arm can go sort of back and forth, going back this far, pretty much, not really all the way around. It kind of bumps into his foot a little bit, and you have to kind of maneuver it out of the way. And then his arm can move up and down, and that's kind of it. Can't really move it out and around. It's just stuck in these two places. He can hit himself on the head, or, you know, help his ailing back. What's really interesting about this figure, and I have to give it little props and tops, waist articulation. That's really weird. You can make a really strange mutant Cranky, but yeah, you can have him kind of pose, you know, left and right, addressing whatever crowd there would be. But this is pretty cool. It's a nice figure with pretty good articulation. I'll have to give it props for that. And while I don't have the Takara Cranky, here is the Jakks specific Cranky Kong next to the Takara Bluster Kong, and these two get on their nerves a lot in the series, so I figured why not pair them together. They're pretty good figures in their own right, and I think I like Bluster a little bit more than Cranky, or maybe Cranky more than Bluster. Honestly, they're at odds with each other just as I am with them. They're both great. For a height comparison, Dixie Kong stands at about 1 3/4 inches tall, while Cranky Kong stands at about 2 inches tall, maybe his cane at about 2 1/4 inches tall, with banana for scale. And here is the Kremling Crew and Bluster and Candy Kong from Takara, next to the World of Nintendo Jakks specific Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and Cranky Kong. And this actually really works if you want to incorporate the Takara characters into your video game world. They all scale really nicely. K. Rool is a bit small, Crush is a bit small, and Clump is a bit small, but the rest scale pretty well and work great. And here is the Jakks specific World of Nintendo DK crew inside the Takara carts, and with a little bit of luck, patience and balancing on DK's part, all 4 of them can fit in the carts. When you're in class and the teacher calls on you but you don't know the answer. Overall, it's unlike Donkey Kong. What I appreciate the most about these figures is the accuracy to the games they came from. I really feel like these characters were ripped out of the screen, and that's awesome. However, they are pre-posed in ways that do not make them good action figures, but instead better display pieces. I love figures that I could pose in any way possible, and these are just not that. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to have them in the collection, as I don't have a Dixie and a Cranky yet, but I do find that these pre-posed characters are just not for me. I do appreciate though how easy it is to cross these figures over with the Takara line. The other Kongs, Kremlings, and minecarts all fit so well. If you're a huge fan of Donkey Kong, honestly like I am, pick these up. They're really nice, but however, they won't get into any pose you want them to. You can instead enjoy them like I am on the shelf, looking at them and remembering the fond times of playing the games they're in. But make no mistake, Jakks Pacific could have had a banana slamming with these figures, but instead they had a banana slipper. So which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Feel free to click like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com, where you'll find more reviews like this one. Thanks again for watching and keep being creative. Stay tuned.